Hi, welcome to Linda. If it is your first time and you like this program, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video. Girl, what do you have to say to my viewers and my subscribers?
Hi,
amazing people?
I hope you are all doing well.
And what do you have to tell them? Should they subscribe to my channel or what?
Yes, put a thumbs up, the video and all the others.
Yeah, bis fast.
Bis nächstes Mal.
Yeah.
Bis später.
Keep on watching my channel because you are going to enjoy this program. Until I meet you again in my next video. Bye-bye. Love you all.
What are your thoughts on this? I mean, looking at, you know, the submissions of the gentlemen and also feeling the pulse of the people.
I miss a lot of the discussion. But when I got to a point, first and foremost, was a point on the courts being prevented from installing elected officials. I think so. The courts should only have their goal before elections. Before the people take the final decision, the courts should have been given the opportunity to exhaust itself. Once the people vote according to the law, then it won't be right to allow the courts to overturn such elections. And if there are compelling information, evidence for the court to overturn, then it must go back to the people for re-election, not to ask A, who ordinarily did not get the mandate of the people to stand in. But all of this cannot work under the presidentiality. We must rework the constitution. We must rework our laws. So our laws are the fundamental. They are the problems with us. The way our laws were configured, the ways they were made, there is no confidence in the law. There's no ownership in our country and in our law. We all feel that it is theirs, not ours. And until we sit down and talk and own this country. I was born into Nigeria. I was born, I grew up to know that I'm a Nigerian. I would love that to remain. I would love that to continue. But I feel dangerously aggrieved. I feel that the future of my children are in danger. Everybody feels that. But I do not feel that the way to do is to destroy Nigeria. I feel that we must rework it. But where the problem is that some people say there is nothing to discuss about Nigeria. That's where the problem. We have two groups, two extremes. Those who say we are breaking down this Leviathan, we are destroying Nigeria, we want to go into our different communities and nations. And those who say, no, Nigeria is good as it is, we cannot talk about it. These are two dangerous extremes. There is nothing too sacrosanct to be discussed about Nigeria. We need to break it down and then agree. I also believe that if we break it down and agree, then the fact that I want to go BIAFRA, I want to go Arewa, will be removed. But unless and until we do that, these questions will come. Insecurity will be a regular problem.
So legitimacy is what, because at the core of this discussion is legitimacy.
Yeah.
When the former president talked about this, and he was saying that the courts should just stop short. They can look into the process, but if they find that the process is irregular, what they should just be able to order is a rerun. A rerun. Yeah. But the lawyers who have just left here believe that there will be no end to the agitations. There will be no end to litigation, so to speak.
Once the ground norm is right, once the law is correct, there is a finality to the legal process. And the earlier the finality is determined before swearing in. Look, it's a process that ought to end before we do any other thing. That process ought to end before we talk about swearing in. So if we have to rework our law to make sure that every other thing is done quite early, we have to. But where, for instance, the final qualification comes a week to election. For instance, and I'm saying, I'm not using your platform to advertise, I'm a year older today. Oh. Everybody who knew me from primary one knew that I am a year older today. Happy
birthday to you.
Thank you very much. So it won't be possible for me to come out tomorrow to say that I am 49. A lot of people say, wow, this is not true. So we must clear all those things ahead of election. Nobody should be debating the certificate of any person a week to election, for God's sake. Those things ought to have been cleared eons ago. Nobody should be talking about qualification order. The ultimate qualification we want to talk about on election is the qualification that the people, through their thumbs, put upon the candidate. That should be the in thing on election day. But here, we are still talking about his state of origin, his nationality, his date of birth, his certificate, whether it's NEPA bill or whatever, on the day, a week, 2 weeks to election.
But to be clear, we're not blaming the judiciary for this.
I do know.
Are you blaming them?
No.
For getting involved in...
I'm not blaming... that's why I say it's the law. It's the law. And you see, every Tom, Dick and Harry, with the right resources, can access the law. Legitimately or illegitimately. It's just like the media. It's been so democratized that anybody can come to go on social media, they do a video and say, so is a thief. Since the burden of proof is not on him, society takes his word for who he is and move on. Some years ago, we had people saying a sitting president is the founder of so and so, and people believed and spreading the rumor. Society cannot go on. If you are sat, you must prove. If you are alleged, you must authenticate. So I do not blame the judiciary for, if people did not bring cases to the courts, will the courts just generate cases on their own? No. So it's the law. It's our law. It's the way we are configured as a nation. There is distrust. There is that legitimacy problem about Nigeria. I said, if you take Nigerians, up to 50% do not believe in Nigeria. Because they do not own Nigeria. They do not see it as my country. And why? Because they do not feel part of it. They feel they are alienated, marginalized in their own country. We must get that first and foremost.
Well, one of the areas where, we're still struggling, it's a big challenge right now, is security. It's back on the front burner. This time around, I mean, since last time you were here, a lot of things have happened on the front of security. We saw the assaults, the attacks that happened in Imo last week. The police headquarters was burnt. We saw a jailbreak. People were let out of the prison, over 1,800 people at the last count. And then over the weekend, just as the weekend was approaching, we saw the formation of the Southeast governors coming up with their own security outfit, Ibubeago. And there have been questions. So only recently, I think just yesterday, they said they're going to come up with a legal backing for this particular outfit. It has taken a while, because there was a time when it would seem that was the trend. When Moteko was mooted in the Southwest, we saw a meeting of the Southeast governors and even some of the South governors, but it would seem that somehow the conversation there just took the back burner when the police kept on talking about community policing. I remember there was a conversation with the former IGP who went to the Southeast, and there was some controversy around what the idea of community policing the police was going to be about. But yesterday, or a few days ago, they finally put, a name to it. They have finally come up with their own outfit. How do you think, I mean, with your knowledge of what is happening in the Southeast, and also the challenges, the peculiar challenges they have in the Southeast, how do you think that this organization is going to function?
Such mutations will continue. We'll have such micro security networks coming up everywhere.
Is that micro? It's a macro.
It's macro now. I say it will become micro eventually. You see, already it's happening. You have your own security guard at home. There is a security committee on the street. There is a zonal security group. It will continue that way because there is no ownership. That is, my sister, it will appear too simplistic.
There's no ownership of what?
Just hold. Even the security, that's where I'm going. The police do not believe that you are part of them. I do not, you rather trust a man who had no security training to be your gate man than to allow a policeman. Why? Why? So it's an issue that, and each time people say, look, that things are going on well. No! We'll continue like that. Let me tell you where I think the Southeast governors felt that, look, we must do something. The circumstances of the jail incidents in Imo, talked about military formations, police formations, government house around the prison. And we were told that they operated for upward of 2-3 hours. Nobody intervened. So people felt there must be something to it. And is that not suspicious? It is. If people shot for hours in a location and an army formation was some few minutes away, police formation few minutes away, government house few minutes ago, and nothing happened, nobody apprehended, nobody intervened, something is fundamentally wrong.
Not that they were overpowered.
Not that there was no attempt to intervene. From what I have read, from what I have seen, except you have a contrary opinion. That means something dangerous happened. Across Nigeria, bandits, terrorists will run over communities, sack residents, take ownership, build houses, nobody will intervene. Something is fundamentally wrong. That cannot be ordinary. So you expect the next community to sit down and not form their Ibubiagu or their Amotekun? You are joking. There is a saying, once the war pursues you to your doorstep, what do? You turn your back and fight. There's nowhere to run to once you are pushed to your wall. So societies, people, communities are pushed to the wall. They are taking action, precipitate action, some unjust action, some taking the laws into their hands. Because the law has refused to take consideration of their security, their safety. So they're subverting the law in order to keep safe. And that's why I say, until we sit down, look, there is no crime in unveiling everything and rebuilding. There is no crime. Our so-called unity was foisted upon us by the colonialists. Can't we, for God's sake, rework our unity? Is it too much to ask for?
Some people say, you know, because I don't know if what you're suggesting is another constitutional conference.
Call it by any name. But
there are those who say that, you know, what we actually need is a conversation, but it doesn't have to be a constitutional conference.
Okay. A conversation towards what purpose? A conversation towards to achieve what? If there are no positive, clear design changes to the constitution, to the grand norm, after the discussion, we are going nowhere. For instance, there is something called federal character. Federal character means that qualified or not qualified, if we are taking 12 people in a place, we must have from all other places. It doesn't merit is thrown into the dustbin. No society runs like that. No society runs like that. They want to go into your child.
Is that not how we've chosen to interpret it? The federal character did not say we need to throw merit away.
But that is what it means.
He didn't say we should do it to the detriment of merit. That
is what it means. If there is nobody qualified from my state for that position, what do? You close it for me? No, it means throw it away. That's it. That's the ramifying effect of that. That's what it interprets to. That is what it translates to. Your child wants to go to primary or secondary school. Somebody with 200 marks will not be qualified. Somebody with 10 marks will be qualified. No society runs like that. You create monsters out of everybody. Why not let us sit down? Let us remove these basic things, these lies that surround us. If you have a problem of arrested development in your own children, then let us create special training processes that will make your own children to grow up so fast. We pay particular attention to it. If somebody is, that's why you have the Paralympics, for God's sake. And this is not to demean anybody. The Paralympics are those who are challenged physically to run their own races with their peers. And those who, for instance, like Pistorius, could gain the use of their other, could eliminate their disabilities, are allowed to compete. You cannot make a physically, mentally challenged person to come and study with somebody who has all his mental acuity in place. Society we must. So it is not. I can't be a swimmer if I've never swum in my life. I have to be trained. I took these simple examples because that is the real problem. Small things. Until we have confidence in our nation, until I believe that my failure will not be because I didn't put it my best. My failure will be because I didn't put in my best. It will be because I didn't put my best. Not because there is one law that prevents me from getting there, but allows somebody else to get there. I won't feel bitter. We are running a race. You tie my two hands behind my back and want me to run equally with somebody with two hands free. So these are realities. You take oil from some people's land, and they have to fight tooth and nail to get to the top of the hierarchy of the agency that runs the oil. It doesn't work that way. These are things, the dysfunctionalities that create insecurity, to create fear, that creates marginalization, and translates to, look, if it doesn't work, then let us break it. So
let us start from the solutions. If you're saying that we need to talk, we have spoken before. We've spoken many times.
Yes.
And the latest time we knew we spoke was 2014. The reports of the conversation in 2014, they're still there. I
just said some minutes ago, somebody said, let's have a conversation. I said, for what purpose? If the purpose is not to effect the changes that we desire, talking will not work. I said that some minutes ago. Yes, if we had that report, what stops us from implementing those salient points that we all agreed on? Okay, there are issues with those salient. Let some other group look at it, or look at them, and say, yes, on community police, let us begin to work on it. 2, on quota system, let us begin to work on it. 3, on population, let us begin to work on it. 4, on this, let us begin to work on it. But another team comes in, that one is dead. There is nothing good from that. And do something new. No. We can't talk about Nigeria. Our unity is so sacrosanct. But we cannot debate it.
The leadership of the country hasn't said that. The government of
there is a difference between what you have said and what you have done. What they have done is to say that we can't talk about it. I'm sorry, and this is...
No, what they have said is that all the conversations that need to take place should take place in the National Assembly. They believe that's where the conversation should start.
Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time or first day of coming across my YouTube channel or seeing my face, you are highly welcome. Please willkommen zu meinem Kanal. Mein Name ist Nnamdi Kanu. Ich komme